I believe that I have done nothing wrong.
Chairman Mark, welcome to TalkAsia. Now, you've just finished your last term as mayor of Taipei. A lot of people are saying that you've now got your eye on the presidency. So, do you?
Well, I got my eye on my party's reform and hoping we could regain power in 2008.
Is it something that would be on your personal political agenda? Is it an ambition that you have?
Well, certainly I wouldn't exclude that possibility, but at the moment, it's very important to reform the party first, to make the party clean, upright, and more competitive in order to make our candidates also competitive and, most importantly, to win.
The governing party, though, the Democratic Progressive Party, or DPP, has had 2 successive terms. Do you think that the KMT stands a chance at the next polls?
Well, I think our party's popularity is getting higher compared to what we were before. And the corruption scandals and the low competitiveness of the DPP administration has seriously weakened their ability to continue their administration.
Still, though, I mean, you talk about the corruption scandals surrounding the ruling party, but then it covers the political spectrum here, doesn't it? You yourself have also come under some accusations of embezzlement of government funds.
Well, that's not really an embezzlement because this is a special allowance for public relations, and more than 6,500 government officials have that, and we all use that funds according to the method we are told to follow. So at the moment, I believe that I have done nothing wrong. And so far, no charge has been brought against me.
You say that you don't think that you did anything wrong in the controversies surrounding you, but do you worry that it would at least have taken a toll on you've got this very clean image. Mm-hmm. Do you think that that might bring some damage not only to yourself and your own political aspirations, but also to those of your party at the ballot box?
Some, but most people still believe that I'm a clean and upright person because I have been kept that name for many, many years. And I'm probably the person who donated the most property to public charity or public interest. And I have engaged in those things for more than 2 decades. I have donated blood for 174 times. So I think a lot of people believe that I'm still very clean.
How would Taiwan be different if the KMT got into power?
The KMT is probably the only party that can regain Taiwan's vitality economically. You know, in the last 7 years, Taiwan has undergone the most difficult economic time in half a century, which for the first time in 2002, we experienced negative growth of our economy. In the last 6 years, our per capita GDP only gained 700, whereas South Korea has gained more than 5,000.
I assume you're talking about the deterioration in part due to the DPP's less than cozy relationship with mainland China. How would that relationship, the one with the mainland, be different under the KMT?
First of all, the Chinese communists obviously are a threat, a security threat to Taiwan, because there are 800 missiles on the mainland targeted against Taiwan. But on the other hand, the Chinese mainland itself is also an opportunity for Taiwan, because each year more than 4 million trips were made by Taiwanese to the mainland, doing business, living there, or studying. And our trade with the mainland last year have already exceeded $100 billion. Mainland China and Hong Kong together bought about 40% of our exports, and that contributes to our economic growth. So economically, the mainland is an opportunity, but politically, it could be a threat. What we should do is to maximize the opportunity, but minimize the threat. At the moment, if we want to go from Taipei to Shanghai, we still have to goes through Hong Kong. That trip, indirect trip, would take almost 7 hours. But if we take direct route, the flight only takes 1 hour and 20 minutes. If this cannot be changed, Taiwan's economy will remain, in Taiwan as a local market instead of a regional springboard. We have to make Taiwan open and pragmatic in order to regain our economic vitality.
But back to what you were saying about China being a threat. If it is such a threat, then why does the KMT keep blocking the arms sales to the US arms sales to Taiwan that the DPP has long been fighting for? You keep shooting them down, so to speak.
We, the opposition, agreed to purchase the reconnaissance anti-submarine plans, which has been approved. And we also appropriate money for the feasibility study of whether to purchase 8 diesel engine submarines from the United States. In other words, we didn't block it. We only choose those weapons that will be used most efficiently for our genuine defense needs.
Your party is clearly more China-friendly than the DPP. If you were to come to power at the next election, wouldn't that give Beijing significantly more control over this island?
No. We will maintain the autonomy of the island, maintain our dignity as a sovereignty, but we should improve relations with the mainland. We hope we could negotiate a peace agreement with the mainland in order to maintain the stability across Taiwan Strait. And we also hope to negotiate a common market arrangement with the mainland in order to normalize our economic relations with the mainland. We also want to negotiate with the mainland a modus vivendi that could make Taiwan gain more international space for its international activities. And we also hope to increase the cultural and educational exchanges with the mainland to make the people, particularly the young people, to understand each other more. In other words, we want to have a policy that will normalize the relationship between the Taiwanese and the mainland Chinese.
The DPP favors independence from the mainland, which has said that it will attack Taiwan if it were to declare statehood. The DPP is still going to be in power for quite some time yet, some 18 months at the time of this interview. Do you think that their agenda is dangerous to Taiwan as a whole?
Yes, I think they will endanger Taiwan's not only security status, but also international status as well. Because most countries in the world now recognize the Chinese mainland and accept the one China principle. I think we could adopt a policy that would, on one hand, really take care of the one China principle, but on the other hand, maintain Taiwan's dignity. What I said is we maximize the benefit but minimize the threat. Actually, the things that I mentioned on the security issue, on economic issue, on international space have already been agreed upon between our party and the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, 2 years ago. They agree in principle. On these issues, they are willing to negotiate with us. But just because that we're in opposition, we're still not in a position to negotiate a true deal with them. But by the time when we come to power...
So you will accept the one China policy then?
We'll call it one China, different interpretations. In other words, we accept the one China principle, but each side is entitled to interpret that content of the one China independently. We interpret that one China as the Republic of China. That's our official name. They don't have to recognize. We wouldn't recognize them either, but we should not challenge the other side's interpretation so that we could shelve the issue for the moment. There's no chance that in our lifetime we could solve the sovereignty issue, but instead we could manage that issue without making it explosive so that we could shift our emphasis, our energy on other more urgent issues, on economic, security, and educational, cultural things. And this is our strategy, and I think it will work.
Coming up, what it means to be Taiwanese, my Ying-jeou shares his views.